What is going on, everybody? I am the FDGURU, bringing to you guys a Tuesday MLB edition of my DFS podcast. We have every team in the MLB playing today, 13 games on the main slate. There's also 2 early games starting at 6:40 Eastern. I'll be playing that slate on my Dub Club. You can get that content with the link below. Also a 4-game after-hours slate. Probably doing the same thing I did last night, an after-hours lineup for my website and my Dub Club. Didn't pan out last night. We were in the money until the very end, but hopefully better things tonight. This is a tough main slate. There is a ton of, average to good pitching where, there's not a lot of good hitting spots that we can target bad pitchers. This is one of the better overall pitching slates I've seen in a long time, so it's going to make things pretty difficult, but there are a couple of spots that I do like. There's no weather issues. The only weather to note is wind, and we have like 15 mile per hour winds in Chicago at Wrigley Field blowing in, where the Cubs in that matchup against the Tigers look, really good, but it doesn't look as good now because of the wind blowing in. But nonetheless, there's no rain to worry about today, which is always nice. But let's have a nice slate tonight. Give this video a like, subscribe. We have reached the 1,000th episode threshold yesterday. I didn't even realize it until after I did the video. But for pitcher, there's a couple of good pitching options. As I always use Prize Picks for pitcher score, just to get an idea, we have Cole Ragans as the top projected guy at 38.5 in a great matchup against the Angels. One of the biggest favorites on the slate at minus 205. The next expensive guy is Zach Wheeler at 37. Both of these guys you could definitely go to. The Braves won't have Austin Riley tonight. Not that, their lineup has been great this year, but, one less good hitter in that lineup makes it easier for Zach Wheeler. Again, Ragans and Wheeler top guys. Now we have Robbie Ray projected the same amount as Cole Ragans. They're both projected the most fantasy points on the slate at 38.5. Just because of the matchup against the White Sox, the Giants, one of the better overall teams for pitching and hitting tonight. Minus 250 favorites, the biggest favorite on the slate. So Ragans and Ray are projected the same amount, and Robbie Ray is $1,100 cheaper. So do with that information as you will. The 2 times I've picked him since coming back, he has screwed me. The second start against the Athletics, I had him, he screwed me, and then last start got absolutely lit up against the Braves. But obviously, still projected to have a really good night tonight against the White Sox. Hopefully he can do, what he did in those other 3 starts. To be projected the same amount as Cole Ragans is no joke tonight. Just going to have to kind of have a, get rid of my short-term memory on Robbie Ray because his last game was so bad. But projected for a lot better things tonight. He looks like the best value pitcher on the board. Obviously, San Fran is a pitcher's ballpark, and the White Sox are garbage. I like Robbie Ray. In terms of other guys, if you look at Prize Picks, most outside of Wheeler, Ragans, and Robbie Ray, every other guy is projected from 25 to 30 fantasy points. There's really nothing that stands out, which makes this slate so hard because there's pitchers that are pretty good, but they don't really look good to pick. But then again, they're good enough where offenses don't look good either, so it makes for a weird slate. The cheapest guy is Walker Buehler at $7K. Kind of a wild thing. But in terms of other guys, I don't know. Assad, the wind is blowing in like I mentioned earlier, and he had a great start to the year. It just seems like as of late, the Cubs are not afraid to, yank his leash and pull him out of the game early. Whereas earlier in the year, he was kind of consistently going 5 to 6 innings, 7,400. If you're going to go 4 innings, I don't like it. But the matchup is there, and the wind is blowing in. Something to consider, I guess. I don't love it. Again, everyone else, nothing that really stands out. It looks like a Robbie Ray night tonight. And then looking up at Cole Ragans and Zach Wheeler as well. For the infield, we're going to go to shortstop. We're going to look at a guy that I was all over last night. He played pretty well. Tyler Fitzgerald. Again, the Giants are like the best team to stack tonight. It is only a 7.5 over-under, but they are minus 250 favorites. White Sox have Davis Martin on the mound. I don't know who that is. He might be a bullpen guy. Okay, he's been in the league for a little bit now, but expected to get rocked a little bit. I love the Giants at home in this matchup. Fitzgerald went up $100 to $3,500, but he is in a really good spot tonight. As I was mentioning in yesterday's video, he's having a great year, a great rookie year, and really setting a name for himself. He should be leading off tonight or batting second. And then our second infield play going right along with the Giants. Great value play. Lamonte Wade should be batting first or second tonight next to Fitzgerald. These two bats are great value pieces. Lefty-righty matchup for Wade, only $2,600 on, a top team to stack tonight. So I'm going to go with him. He doesn't play all the time, batting 280 though. Had a good game yesterday. We had him 2 for 3 with a walk on base 3 times. Should get 5 at-bats tonight. I like Wade at $2,600. He looks like one of the best cheaper bats on the slate because, like I've said, there's not a lot of good ones to be targeting. For the outfield, we're going to surprisingly go to the Mariners. I know it's against Walker Buehler, but this game, there's only one game right now with an over-under of 9, and that is this Mariners and Dodgers game. We do have the wind blowing out just a little bit here, 5 to 10 miles an hour, enough to make a difference. Buehler has not been the same guy since coming back from his injury. 6 ERA. Giving up earned runs at will every single game. At least 3 earned runs in most of his starts so far. Can't get past really the 5th inning outside of a couple of starts. Mariners look good tonight. I don't think Buehler is fully back. I don't think he's going to come in and, light it up. And, I'm sure his pitch count is still going to be monitored just a little bit because he's been pretty terrible. We got some cheap value in this game. Rosarena, 3K. Julio Rodriguez. I'm going to go with both Mariners outfielders batting 2 in cleanup, most likely. If not, both are probably going to be batting in the top 4 somewhere. I like Rosarena. He's been pretty bad, but he's a guy who can steal bases, and he's projected for a decent amount of fantasy points tonight. If you don't like Rosarena, I'll even throw in another guy. Dalton Varsho has been decent as of late. I do like the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are some of the best bats to look at tonight because it has one of the best over-unders at 8.5. They have a matchup at home against Carson Spires with a 4.5 ERA, so I don't mind the Blue Jays. 2,800 should be batting second with the lefty-righty matchup. I don't mind Varsho either. But again, I do like the Mariners as a stack. Obviously, the Dodgers on the other end of it, but they're very expensive. And then Julio Rodriguez, 3K, coming back from injury. He's on a 6-game hitting streak. Really, he went 0 for 5 in his game back from injury, and then since then, he's gotten a hit in every game. So he's a guy who can steal bases too. He's projected pretty well tonight against Walker Buehler. I like saving some money on a slate where we really don't have that many cheap bats, as I have said. But you never know. When confirmed lineups do come out, we could end up finding some nice cheap bats in the top of lineups. That'll do it for this video, guys. Let's have a nice night. A lot of games tonight. Give this video a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until next time, I am the FD Guru. Peace.